Howdy and welcome to VEDADWM Day 12. Vlog every day about Doctor Who in November, day number 12, which is your least favourite series. Series 6 of new series is my pick. I'm going to say it right off the bat, don't want to wave around it. I just don't like that series. There's a couple reasons. Writing was not as strong as it should have been that series. I'm not going to say all of it because there are some cracking good episodes. The Doctor's Wife, God Complex. The problem I had though, like many other people, was I didn't get the arc. I didn't get, okay, he's gonna die and everything, but then it was very rushed at the end, and just episodes were weak when they could have been brilliant. Curse of the Black Spot, I do not like that episode, and it sucks that I don't like it because I should like it, because on paper it's a good idea, but I just did not like the way it was written, and I was really annoyed that the guy who wrote Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS, who was given such a good episode like that, well, such a good brief like that, was the guy who wrote that episode, the Black Spot one, because I just didn't like it. The whole Doctor being killed thing was okay. I liked it as a concept. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. We're going to find out this, that, and the other. You know, he's obviously going to stay alive, which detracts some of the actual, oh god, he's never going to come back or anything. But it just lacked something. It lacked any kind of sense for me, because the whole, oh, everyone thought it was going to be a Flesh, and then everyone went, oh, it's going to be one of the Tesseractors. It was a Tesseractor, and it made no sense, because how do you make a Tesseractor regenerate? It would have made more sense if it was a flesh body that had been killed, you know? They just went for we're gonna say that it's this, we'll make everyone think that it's this, but then it's not, and everyone already thought it was a Tesseractor. It was just basically, put your bets on one of them, it's gonna be one of them, but it was the most recent one, so everyone who was new viewers caught up with it. One thing that I hate about Series 6, and I'm not saying it in a horrible way to be horrible, it was too American. They went to America, I know. That is probably the first thing that people are going to say, but they went to America. How can you not make it American? No, the whole series felt too stylized. What the first 4 series and the specials did, they made it feel natural. They made it feel organic. Series 5, I always think that it has a very earthy, rooted feel to it. Series 6 just lost that, and I think it was when they were trying to break into America the most. They did that, but it felt wrong. It felt too stylized. You can see in the Doctor's jacket, it's not something picked off a shelf. It's not natural. It was very just too precise of an outfit, and the way it looked, that series just looked too good. It sounds really bad, because the good thing about a British TV show is that you know it's made with a certain style and certain type of attention. There's an attention to detail in the writing and the characters more than the detail of what you're looking at. It sounds weird, but there's a definite difference. It's like when a British TV show gets remade in America, there is a definite stylized difference, and that is what I felt. I felt like they were trying to see what it would be like to make the show American, restart the show in America, and it felt weird, and it just didn't sit right with me. I was just constantly going, this doesn't look right, and it ruined my enjoyment a bit more than it should have. And there were episodes which, when they went back to roots of this is what the show is like the God Complex, it was set in an 80s hotel and there were scary things indoors. It felt like Doctor Who. Whereas episodes like The Curse of the Black Spot, they looked too finished. They looked too This sounds horrible, and I don't mean to, but it looked too plastic. If you look back, it's in high definition and everything, but there's a difference between Series 6 and Series 7, so you can't say it's because the HD changed. It's not because of that. It just looked plastic. It looked like it was done up so much to be so perfect or whatever, and it just didn't feel right. The story arc with River as well, it annoyed me because I sincerely hoped that she would somehow travel with the Doctor. That is the one regret I have of River's tenure, is that she did not travel. We are meant to love this character and know that she loves him when she has been a character for about 6 or 7 episodes. It's wrong for us to be forced to feel that when you haven't seen her travel with him. You've seen her pop up and say spoilers and run away. It just felt wrong, and I felt Series 6 was a perfect opportunity for Amy and Rory to travel, and maybe then just a little bit for River to pop along, and just pop along for half a series or something. Just enough time for us to get to know her. Get to know her as a character. That is the epitome of a companion, is that you know them and you connect with them. The companions that do least well in fans' history and fans' eyes are the ones that they don't know properly. That is why some older companions are looked over, because they are not connected to the Doctor properly enough, or they just haven't got enough screen time. I'm not trying to be... Thing is, the acting in it was good. Like I said about yesterday, Amy's character was very up and down and everything. I didn't like A Good Man Goes to War either. That felt like it was... A Good Man Goes to War felt like it was the start of Moffat's I am going to make this show mine. There's a difference, I think, in Doctor Who's history of making a show your own and owning it for your tenure. Hinchcliffe years were great for being gothic. It kept the crux of the show, though. They didn't always have gothic, they just kept it sometimes. They had aliens and everything, but there was also their feel to it. Russell's was very domestic, and it had that feel, but he made sure that it was still that show. He wanted to put his stamp on it, and he did. And all the other showrunners have put their stamp on the show, but they made sure that it is still the same show. Series 6, especially Good Man Goes to War, Day of the Moon, those episodes just felt like they were Moffat saying, no, this is my show now, and I am not giving it up, and it feels wrong. Series 5 was him saying, okay, this is the show that I'm making. I'm putting a stamp on it. Series 6 felt like him saying, I am stamping my foot down on it, and you can do nothing to stop that, and it felt wrong, and it felt weird to watch, especially watching it for the first time. I still anticipated each episode because I still had hope. Because I still have hope with the show, even now. 50th anniversary, I'm scared to death of what they're going to do, but I have hope that somehow he's not going to mess it up. Series 6, I look back and go, that is the start of him doing something to the show that I don't know if the next showrunner can recover. And it's kind of weird that it's happened, because it shouldn't be about the showrunner. It should be about the concept and the characters of the show, not the showrunner and their idealisms or anything. So I think Series 6 for me is just a bad point in the show's history itself. You know, very much like Trial of a Time Lord was for many others. It felt like this was where JNT was saying, I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing because I think I'm right. That is the only exception to the rule of people putting their stamp on it but not doing it, because early JNT, it's good. Then he got a little too involved. Luckily, towards Cartmel Plan, he was stepping back from I'm making it a JNT show, but unfortunately, he'd already done the Colin Baker episodes and stuff. But Cartmel Plan, you could see that there was changing from JNT's grasp on the show, and I hope that we get our own Cartmel Plan with someone else doing that, saying to Moffat, no, you need to step back for a second and look at what you're doing. Series 6 was, in many fans' eyes, meant to clear up all the unanswered questions from Series 5, and I do not care what anyone says, they were unanswered. You can say on, oh, this was explained on this forum or in this interview. For the casual viewer, it wasn't explained, and saying that adults don't catch up is okay enough, but anyone has to understand upon first watching it, and hardly anyone did. They had to analyse it. And Series 6 required a hell of a lot of analysing to know what the hell was going on. The lack of having the two episodes at the end, the double cliffhanger episodes sort of go, this is the big episode, it wasn't there, and it felt like it wasn't there because Wedding of River Song was too quick. It went snap, 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 done. It just went by too quickly and you didn't know where you were looking, and that was meant to be the big reveal episode. There was so much to bring up and show and everything. Even if it was like half an episode longer, it just didn't fit right. And Series 6 is where I started very much going, oh dear, what's going to happen next? Not what's going to happen next that I had felt for the previous 5 years. Anyway, that is why Series 6 of the new series to me is just not my cup of tea. It's not the show that I know, in my opinion, and that's why it's my least favourite. But I am not all-knowing, all-seeing. It's just my opinion and everything. Tomorrow is going to be the character you love but everyone else hates. Or, so that can be Doctor that you love that everyone else hates, Companion you love everyone else hates, person who just popped up and everyone went, oh my god, why did they even exist? Such as the Absorbaloff. I'm not going to do the Absorbaloff because I think I would get killed on the internet for saying that. I've already slammed Series 6 and Amy and I'm not dead, so... Anyway, I will have to go. Beard is itchy as hell.